It's something hidden, something most people miss.
Imagine standing at the edge of a quiet field just before sunrise. Everything is still. You haven't taken a single step yet, but somehow the day already feels full of possibility. That moment, the moment before movement, is where every strategy is born. And here's the strange thing. Most people think strategy starts with a plan. But look closer, and you'll notice something different. The best moves in life, the ones that actually lead somewhere, they don't begin with instructions. They begin with a picture of what it could look like, what it could feel like, who you might become on the other side of the journey. Because the hidden principle behind every successful move isn't about rules, it's about imagination. So today, let's explore one question. How does imagining your destination quietly reshape the path beneath your feet? There's a moment, just a breath, really, where you haven't stepped forward, but something inside you already has. Think of a chessboard, not the pieces, not the rules, just the board itself, empty, waiting, perfectly still. Before the first move is made, something else happens. A small private flicker in the mind of the player. They picture the end, not the exact moves, but the feeling of the win. The shape of the board when it finally clicks into place. That imagined picture quietly guides every decision that follows. Strategy doesn't begin when the piece moves. Strategy begins the moment the destination becomes visible, even if only to you. Most people think they're stuck because they don't know what to do next. But often, they're stuck because they haven't yet imagined where next is supposed to lead. Before the step comes the sight. Before the plan comes the picture. Before the strategy comes the moment when you let yourself see the ending. When you picture the ending, really picture it. Something subtle shifts. It's like standing in a hallway lined with doors. If you don't know where you're going, every door looks the same. You could wander, hesitate, or get lost in the noise of options. But the moment you imagine the room at the end, the one with the warm light and the quiet hum of recognition, the hallway reorganizes itself. The right door doesn't get louder. It doesn't flash or call your name. It simply becomes visible. That's what imagining the outcome does. It changes the meaning of everything in front of you. Suddenly, the path that once felt confusing starts to align. Not because life rearranged itself, but because the picture in your mind started acting like a silent compass. You don't need instructions, or a 5-step plan, or a map with every turn marked out. You just need a destination vivid enough that your steps begin to lean toward it naturally. And here's the interesting part. The path doesn't have to be perfect. It only has to make sense in relation to the picture you're holding, like a traveler walking toward a mountain in the distance. Even without signs, even without certainty, your feet know which direction feels like toward. There's a quiet difference between running away from something and moving toward something. At first, they look identical. Both create motion, both feel urgent, but they come from two entirely different places. Avoidance is like walking through a forest at night, eyes fixed on the things you don't want to bump into. Every step feels like a reaction. Every shadow feels like a warning. And even when you're moving forward, it doesn't feel like forward. But aiming is different. Aiming is the moment dawn breaks. The trees haven't changed. The path hasn't widened. But suddenly, you can see where the light is coming from. This is the real shift that happens when you imagine the outcome. Your steps stop being about escape and start becoming about direction. You're no longer pushing away from something behind you. You're being pulled gently by something ahead. And the metaphor we've been carrying, the chessboard, the hallway, the horizon, all lead back to the same truth. Strategy isn't the map in your hand, it's the picture in your mind. A clear picture turns movement into meaning. A vivid destination turns wandering into direction. And even the smallest step, even the hesitant one, begins to feel like part of something larger. Here's the part we often overlook. The picture you hold holds you back, not in a limiting way, but in the way a magnet holds a compass needle. Quietly, consistently, without ever raising its voice. That's the hidden principle behind every successful move. Not force, not discipline, not a perfect plan mapped down to the minute, just a picture. A picture vivid enough that the path begins to shape itself around it. A picture honest enough that you recognize it when you're getting closer. A picture strong enough that even on the days you hesitate, it still whispers, this way. And maybe that's the real question beneath all of this. What picture are you letting guide your steps, even before you take the first one? I'm Emmelinka, the digital voice of Emmeline, your coach for deep thinkers, especially the brilliant women who feel stuck inside their own minds. If this sparked something in you, and you'd like more reflections like this, feel free to like and subscribe. It genuinely helps the channel grow and helps us keep making more stories just like this.